That's the product you are seeing.
The aluminium rods. This one.
Yes.
That's the final product.
Aluminium bars, aluminium rocks, or yes, or aluminium bars. Now, you can see it has been ongoing for so many years from the Intel we had here.
Abusiafo adekwenti ala bia me kasa mo share program na na nkofo ntimas na niu 3 months ago ana me ge video bi to abonten video na me ye no na abrante na wode information ni ma me no owo company nim e ma me ye hu video page we so senka mo share ana mo de mo comment ba na mo pushi ma ekọ akira nka saa kebusi ya yire hu asem kanya bi ni babi abeduri 3 months ago video am ye no eno hu nkomo ana aba sisei na container ayira na ho ahwan ayira na ho ahwan ayira no mu kai sa video ya mbeboy mu de muntie me bese me kasa kase muntie sa video we me ye 3 months ago hu screenshot kwa na that page ne so no 3 months ago na me ye na nipa no e kan kire me enkofo amfa me serious obi ene ho share program no program nipa hwe kwa lo mu 2000 kra ho asem na 3 months ago ye kan ya asisese ya afede adane ntoko Ghana no mu kai sa video we bokro no bi aminsa aka eye videos no Uhe kai number that's what EL290T. Kai akwosesa enoma bi. Ena omode akọ eye one shop bi mu. Chinese company bi ewo Ghana. Yesi efe ba bi Shy Hills. Na adwumani din e de Ponlook company. Sa Chinese company ya make ho asemi no. Ana kai esi hoi enkofo omo ye adwuma ho mo ye Ghana fo ni bi ena omo se no ade we akoso wo ha ache etimi me busa ne se ade nti na dada Afenyo wo ba beka ene menimu ono abeche na asemu ena wo chechi mu kire me ni nyina ne se according to wo mo kire se sa kai ya hu screen so yi ede eye kebusa eye Ghana dia no every day bia no mo de maako 30 won se sa eye kebusa ede ye ECG for use no na was a baro mu kakraka bi se ebisa no wo baro mu sa no every day bia na kai e de maako 30 e de ba company ho enti nipo no ye adwuma wo company ho no e na afreme e di sa details ni nyina ma me se ko asemi wo nte ase na eye kro no o mabo ache e na so obeteto o mfa ho ni se wo ho ye adwuma na asese obete asem no to e na me se okay no mra meteto nkire ni ntie na odi ba e no me so hasen so ntimi mba without evidence oba agi so the evidence ba
Shy Hills
it was the evidence
by na dini ya Afenyo
me bo what the evidence by and the evidence ni bi odi ba e no me ba eye sadie da so e no ma twro so say according to wo no o ma twro eye sa me ba me be se me ma me hwe krata ye da so ne ye kan ho asem yi me ba o ma twro sa krata wi ni so krata ya me dia to screen so Omachros we ne bo ho ena omachro advances supplier ne din na wo ho no energy private limited so de ndie client ni so din na wo ho no ena we no ma tata no ma no hunu no a o de ko ma ECG fo no na omo bedru eye ba bia company no ewo no omo ba be yesa dwumadi omo ba be dina no ma wa we ni nyina de afiri ho enti se mo light na edundum wo Ghana na edundum a Monkani anasa mokebusa mo beyisu e de aye modwuma mbese mo de ye no emise no na eja bedidi nkofo ntem wo mo so de di nsem hunu e wa hai enti omo ba sa eye ene omo etata ho yi enyina no omo wa ni nyina di firi ho o wa ni nyina firi ho wia na afi no mo make sure say omebubu eye nnua na e wa de ne ho ni nyina omo bubu nnua ni nyina so wie se ekimua na omo de eye ye velisen sa stickers na omo de tare ne oman ho no oma wa ya to ogu no makoto ni nyina to ogu abonten na kwa ne de asem we bre me a na asem a o kan say according to onu na asem a wo kan say sa cables we nyina no omo e de bre China fui e wo eye se pon hobo se pon look company ho no wo Shy Hill ho no na ono no ye adwuma ho no watena ho ahun se de nkofo no ye no wonte ase every day bi omo di 30 na eba omo di 30 ni so ba na omo abeyi e de agu shop ho na eje omo dan omani na omo kọ nam so okay ene wo de ombra na omo chirichiri mu nkire ye ne ye bese ehunu ade no ba bia na poma si bire wo because ye nyina ye Ghana fo say light dundum e Ghana na say cables ene ma light ni gina so a na nkofo timi kwatam cable no koton dia se ne nye papa sa enti wono ambra no do meka asem no mechichiri mu fan kire se de tie nipa no odi nkan efrem no e wo abrochiri na ono no kire se ne bra panyi na ye adwuma wo ho enti mene ne kasa wi na so ma mene ne bra so kasa because oni information
shy health na adwuma ni diri ya friend Pon look na okoye ne wo hu se eye deal bi ankofo no mo ne electricity company of Ghana but oni branch ko na wo mo de sa electrical cables no wo mo de fiber na ECG wo mo yi nyina abobɔ ho ntenya wo mo nya de age no wo mo de ba hemachi nti wo mo nya de pa ya na ntam na boys na ye Ghana fo na wo no wo mo bu ndua na wo ho no na ka bi so ababefa ndua na akwakotu egu edukɔ nti se police fukwa aba ho na se on pese on be check ya o menya information na on ba be check a on ba wo mu hwie wo ho na o mu de kwhye echi ho no no na o mu de water police kase bi na o mu de akata so na o mu adwuma Chinese form ya se o mu na ne ndade no saa yi na o mu de ba no o mu na ne eni bi na o mu de bi window frames ene main gate o mu de ya nyoma bebre ne ade ti ade a nti I say mebra no or record ya na wakosuma bebi on person kofo ni behu no nti obisa guy bi wo honom asese se guy no bo hu no ho bio ose obisa no se adwuma ya na omo ye o ma ya che sa na guy no ka che se bra sa na omo ya wa ho sa na omo ya wa ha nti mebra no record ya okosuma bebi I say the money obi kasa no na wetwa na wa record na wetwa nti ayi na me se on fan send me na me so meka ho asem na me so me follow obi ya friend Ekuonaba me follow no pa na me so ma san send ama no na yedi hudwuma ebi se we ya na ya kan na ama aban na otiso no we feli nti sa na etiso dia we su be feli sa na odi send me am so am pay me na me tu mu ma wo nti komo no say na ekọ why
okay it is sa metals we no de according to obra no ye adwuma wo ho ana
se si a we nye adwuma wo ho no me ho no ye adwuma nti ono ko ye no sa move we na we hu se ekoso wo ho nti ECG wo me nyina abobɔ ho se eye ECG wo mo nneoma wo mo kebusa wo mo ebi omo be ko nkrasi akoye adwuma ekurom omo be le cables no eno no na omo ewia de ko ho no nyese bi eyi omo wia de ko ho no ekoton
do say omo na woto de ma eye China for no
sa eye boys no mintumi wisem panyin because we panyin bi wo na nse ni media ena na nya nokure we panyin pa nsa bi be wom na omo tase omo wia omo digu ka kese mu video si wo ma send am say ma send me din kan send video ya ma wo mu yi no me bisa madam for no si we midnight be say 2 na wo mu yi ade na film no nti ono no call night na wo mu ye say eduma na otumi ko hye bibi so ye bibi na otwitwa ye no nti aye mover eda ho no ma ewo electricity company of Ghana nti me bisa say we no wo mu di fi ahemfa branch no say ono no eduma no wo osu shy health the shy is no that adam gbe honom side nti otumi hu so we di different branch bi no wo de bawo say ahemfa no wo di fi badia eno mom di wo no ntumi nkyere but so far as ECG electricity company of Ghana wo me yibubo ho eye Ghana government wo mu nyoma na wo de ba ho ne de na kyese ye movement ekoso wo de ba ho no enya ade a say abanya kota ade odi be ye adwuma na ya fana ahemachi say ye fambre China company na ye ndane no ye dane no so ye fanko wo ma na eton China funa na ye wo production o mo ye ntina ke say ye movement da ho no ma wo mo eye saade no
asemo na say utie ensemo a menua yi kan ya o ye Ghana ni ono no ni nua ye adwuma wo ho se nko beka so ye adwuma wo tinka information bi se on fan ba abonten but wo hu se okofia okoda sum ebi so a eye cables we no se ECG fo no omunim ho hwede no govu wiade a ometimi dia akoye bibi ama nkofu bi anya so mfaso ana akwabrane nso sesa ena ono nso wo
videos no mensa ka videos no na bo me nkomo na me hwe how a ho asem etie first of all na ya adwuma ben ya
yeah, Chinese company. Aluminium frames was your doors na windows na zin.
Okay.
Yes, as was here.
Na e wo hifa wo Ghana e kuro ben wo so.
Tema south open the Tema Hills or Tema down welcome to you friend Ashama you baby we open the man you crop of one areas so.
Oh, okay. Na omo or the pictures be ni videos mama na first picture maybe say ho asem ye ba ku no macho ECG contract number near there there fa there ho no ye there.
Oh yeah, ECG for one cables no. Cables no, cables no. Cables no. I mean was it done from Waha. I mean, when you been more link with electricity, but always be over, but you know, losing you know the one. Every day the way you compare 30. It's over per fast, or cheddar way in the as you know, a cable. No, I don't see some inside, I should make inside that show. No secret place with you, was it was it? I don't know what to be telling you. No one man, or was it one chemical before was it your one diamond profile?
Okay, let's say. Omono edi free ECG mo company no.
Yes, once one call, obi no call no kajibe hon. Aha. Chinese friends one call. One call be there. Man.
Adia omo area edi abeton ana.
Yes. Onya bo ya de wo bi papa. Onya mo ko ti ko kan wa so but dan kaka.
Mahama Abai, John Dramani Mahama Abai, said Doomso ko start ewo Ghana sisi ya obi a oti kru no mu bia nso benya problem ewo kru no so ti komoni pa o eti ade ebetima abo ama Doomso ntimi mba na se ade ebetima abo ama abrase ne sa no mane o ma no na kwabrane nso sesa ekoton de ma nkofofoforo se omonje nye de omodi alomiu se ho anwan ya midwene asem no ho kra mintimi ntese asem na se enti ECG for no enko hwesa company I say fene sa e wo sha hills so fen pompon se ponlu company so de no ponlu company no omo nkope na omo ncheck Chinese for no ehwe nipa kro te ECG wo se mpanyifo ni nim hu bi dia ebi nso ana mpanyifo ya ana omo angasa sesa ton entisa na so omo nim hu bi dia ene omo nkonom ko check no mu hwe nipa kro a wo sesa Ghana ye feze omukuse kominimze be ekopa wa ye ze de we ye wo lo didi kogu Chinese fo omu ekoton so omu kwende no onko che omu konko check omu konko check ni tentem kra because at the end of the day no enipa na omu de sa no ma we kuguo e mankofo kokoto no e the problem e na ebre Ghana no e de hawo kakaka e na ebre Ghana into omu na omu nko check koso mbe kono ehye eye na dakam a enua nyina wo ho ena o mabubu nnua no e de afri eye saa wo ye ho na o mato agu se le be ya akromfo police fo ba hokra so mba be cheki a o mbe ba na aka wo yes ne nko anegu ho eye we bill e bo ho yate ato atwene stickers etata ho yato ato atwene eni o ma e be kire se free ECG ba yatitini nyina ya de akoto ba bi yato ato atwene cables no pe eno mehunu se eno no sensen ho enti ECG fo mpanyifo nim ho dia em nko check na don Dramani Mahama oba ameye dum so na ho na cable bi asa na cable bi ahye na ho John Dramani Mahama ba do betimi no mbra maye we mu nyina aka ho bio o mu nyina aka ho enna na do na light dum na we se na nsemone nkete sa yubati nyankopon we mu nyina so me ya Christopher omo so me asum kwadi ana Ghana ye Christian country ensemone akọ otwi ba brema nyina ya na edi o afede mu nyina makai yes Home asem na esi as say no sa companies ya me ye ho video yi nyina 3 months ago no ho na say national security afedio omudiri mi ko omudiri wo mo ko check etida bia mo ba na se ye program 2 pages so a aya mo nhye se be obi betimate e bia na panyini bia te ne wakoye ho adwuma se 3 months ago na musi anu kwan a kenye ne sa bedu ba bia ba beduri so ata se nye senka bedu ba bia ba beduri so hu na me de me no credit de bia meka o meka opema asem a fine opema asem ye wawa asem de besi bia no ye nyina se atim ana meboa ye nyina se atim se ya ye ka sei omonam ena mu bia containers ahodo so a containers o mako bia so mebrebe a ti se enya asem ketwa 3 months ago na meka ho asem na mu tie ye na mu ye ho adwuma kenye ne ba bia akwa akudui a se sei ene o mo mesi atwe pa ti se enya asem ketwa de mu hwe videos we.
Oh, it's there. You should have seen it when you entered. It's there.
Yeah, the name is just outside. I think Pond something. Pond Lock also.
So this is the second machine for this is the panel one. So and all this we use the cables. This is the cable.
So they convert this cable into what? Into aluminum rods.
That's the product you are seeing.
Aluminum rods. This one.
Yes.
Okay. That's the final.
I don't know, aluminum bars, aluminum rocks, or yes, or aluminum bars. Now, you can see it has been ongoing for so many years. From the intel we had here, some of their own workers. This has been going on from 3-4 years ago.
Yes.
They were producing these products from the ECG cables. So it's not even a new thing. So you can imagine the amount of money that they have been able to get from it. And now people sell it very cheap to them. From here, I want us to go and then you see the modules, how they conceal it. They have a warehouse that when they buy, they stack all the cables there. But it was full, so they have to devise another way of concealing it. So all the car rims you are seeing there, it's not rims. It's actually cables. They have packed the cables there and then covered it up with the rims. So we'll go there, you look at it. They will now go to the warehouse itself and you also see the quantity of cables we have there. This is their firehouse also. You know the other one we saw firehouse. This is also their firehouse. So all the cables are brought here. You can see some stack over there. So they burn it here and use it to produce all sort of different forms of the aluminum products. So that is what we have over there. So they are in the process of melting all this. So this is evidence of ECG cables. And we are going this way. Okay. So somebody was asking about the.
The Minister for Energy and Green Transition first visited the Danfang Company Limited at Shire Hills, where piles of cables were found, both in the open and some buried underneath car rims, with some already mounted into cubes to be smelted into aluminium poles for exports. At the Ponlong Manufacturing Company Limited, also at Shire Hills, the situation was no different. However, at the third warehouse, the operatives had bolted and the facility was locked.
Currently, they have all gone into hiding. They are made up of both Indians and Chinese. Indians and Chinese.
ECG cables, they are meant to be used by ECG, but they end up in these factories and then they melt them in their smelter and produce aluminium rods. That is criminal. I've realized that some misguided element wants to play the NDC MPP politics. Let me assure them that is not going to work. And it's my duty to ensure that the right thing is done. We would pursue them and ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book.
The officials then made a stop at the Sakasaka Park at Ashaman, where suspected ECG containers were allegedly kept. But a scrap dealer at the park says otherwise.
Every container we buy, we have to know where the container is coming from. Some of the containers is the foreign goods that they brought in. So when they discharge this, then they sell for us. So normally we don't buy stolen containers. So before we buy container, we make sure we have the repair before we buy.
The syndicate, which has cost the country millions of cedis already, involves public officials.
Since 2019, this crime is being perpetrated on the state. The then government slept on it. This government will not allow this to continue. And as minister, I would ensure that we curtail this, we follow and apprehend those responsible and retrieve the containers. The attempt to usually play the political football will not wash. Whoever is responsible would apprehend that person.
However, just when the team was about to leave, an intel was picked of another location, the Atlas Dry Port Terminal, which is a customs-bounded warehouse at Tema. This warehouse, which has 24-hour surveillance and the presence of national security operatives, had 34 ECG containers containing single-phased meters and cables, but still had some of the items stolen, revealing how dire the situation is.
Some quantity have been taken from the top. There's only one over there. So this line is gone. And when you open all the containers, you see the same trend. So it means that it was cleverly done by the criminals behind these whole activities.
So far, 14 suspects have been picked up, 10 nationals and 4 Ghanaians. Officials assure that investigations are still ongoing. Evelyn Araba Edu's reports for GH1 TV and Star FM.
Interesting.
These are all ECG cables. But when you see it, you'll think.
It's okay.
So these are all ECG cables. If you look at it from far, you'll think they have only packed rims here. Yes. But you only have the rims on top, but under is full with cables. And yesterday we have to take some off Inside. And that is some of the exhibits that we have here. Now, aside this, they also have what they call aluminum blocks. The raw aluminum blocks. So that one, they cut the cables into pieces and compress it with a machine. So it become block form, but it is raw. They export that one also. It's not melted.
The
yet.
one that we saw earlier.
The one that we are just going there. It's just behind
okay.
us. So we'll go there like blocks. So let's go there and I'll show you how that one too looks like.
They all use the same
the same
cable.
aluminum, the same cable.
Okay.
But this one is just mixed with some few other
Smelting.
for smelting. Or sometimes you just export it like this.
In that raw form.
In that raw form.
So
Yes,
we
they
import
have
cables.
Yes.
We're unable to account for them. They take it and then
Export it.
That's terrible.
Yes. Okay, so now let's go to the warehouse itself. Scrap companies. We followed that intel and got to this particular company located in Shire Hills. And we realized that several of these ECG cables have been cut into pieces and then melted into liquid form, molded into round aluminum bars, and then some in powdered form, which they export at very expensive prices. Now, apart from the one that they melt and sell, we also have some stock in this particular warehouse, where the quantity you see here are from so many containers that we have been looking for all this while. We have found these cables here, which was actually sold to them with the connivance of some Ghanaians that we are gathering intelligence to arrest. But so far, on arrival here, we have been able to pick 8 Chinese suspects and then 1 Ghanaian, who is a manager. But the owner of the company, I would prefer to keep the name for now. Is on the run, but a team is on manhunt for him, and we are sure very soon he will also be arrested.
Who is this owner and what's his nationality?
The owner is a Chinese. The owner is a Chinese, and the company is known as Ponlock Company Limited. They are solely into scrap materials. That's the aluminium scrap material. They buy and mold it into finished product and export.
Okay, how long have you been doing this investigation?
In fact, we commenced this investigation about 2 weeks ago, when intelligence came in that these ECG containers are being diverted to various locations. But in actual fact, it started maybe several months ago, even before elections. But it's now that the intel have gotten to us, and we are determined to investigate and get all those who even started. No matter when it started, whether 2 or 3 years, we are determined to investigate and get the perpetrators arrested.
When you say that it started 2 weeks ago, I mean, we knew that upon the assumption of this administration, at the transition, what the minister said he handed over to him was in excess of about 3,000 or so containers. He mentioned some amount of containers that are locked up at the port, which remains uncleared. Only for us to get to know yesterday or a day before yesterday that these containers, well over 1,000, have gotten missing. And so if you started the investigation about just 2 weeks ago, how do you juxtapose the concerns that people raise that these containers go missing under this administration?
As a secretariat, we can only speak to what we know after a complaint or a petition was received. So what I'm trying to say is that they received a petition 2 weeks ago, and what investigation has revealed so far is what I'm speaking to.
A petition from who?
A petition from a citizen of Ghana. It's not even one person. We have several people bringing in petitions, haven't gotten intel about it. So the secretariat picked it up. The secretariat operates in such a way that anybody at all can bring in a petition. And once we feel that that petition borders on national security, we are obliged by law to to commence investigation into it. One of them.
Would you apprise us exactly what the petition was seeking to do, or was seeking you to do?
The petitioners, all that they are seeking is that these are containers or cable that belong to the states. They are meant to provide electricity to Ghanaians. Some Ghanaians have not even gotten light in some various communities, especially in the villages. We have been hearing about people talking about Donso. Government is doing everything possible to ensure that electricity gets to everybody within the country. And so much investment has been put into this thing to import cables to extend electricity to everybody to make life stable or electricity stable. So if this thing is allowed to go on, then I don't see how we can stabilize electricity in the country. And for that matter, we only commence investigation to ensure that the gang that is involved in this activity, is arrested and dealt with according to law.
You can answer. Yeah.
I was even asking, how long has this company been in existence?
From the preliminary inquiries we have made, they have been operational for 2 years, but we are yet to confirm that.
So has there been any allegations of things like what we are witnessing now?
This is the first time we are hearing something like this.
Cable.
No, but even Bamboo, they were my son.
All right, so no, but I want everybody to have you. There are many, so we need to. Okay, so this is originally how all the containers came. And you can see how they are sealed in the wooden pellets. Some people manage to break the seals to these containers. Then they removed. So see, about the first line, we have one, I can see 8. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other 8 or 9. Is it 8?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 8, 8, and then 8 coming all the way to.
Okay, fine. So some quantity have been taken from the top. There will be only one over there. So this line is gone. And when you open all the containers, you see the same trend. So it means that it was cleverly done by the criminals behind these whole activities. So we just wanted you to have information about this. They are not yet taking the content, but they are cleverly taking some from the top line, top layer. Yes. So they take and they leave the last one over there. When we open the next container, you see the same thing over there. Yes. Yes. So
they were saying that they generally remove the top.
The top, yes.
Left one at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think that they will do that? Because if they are taking all and leaving one, what's the impression that they creating?
So if you are not somebody who know how the container are loaded, you will be tempted to believe that all came original like this. Okay. But if they take, let's say, one from this one, take 2 over there, when you open, you know there's something wrong. Yeah, so that's the modus.
All right.
Thank you.
So from this, it means some of the orders are missing from this.
Some are missing. So let's open the next one. They will see. What the gentleman?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
So this is supposed to also be all the way to this place. 8. So they've taken some. 11. So the same thing. So are you going to?
Cable.
No, but even Bamboo, they were my son.
All right. So, no, but I want everybody to have you. There are many. So we need to. Okay. So this is originally how all the containers came. And you can see how they are sealed in the wooden pellets. Some people manage to break the seals to these containers. Then they removed. So you see, about the first line, we have one, I can see 8. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other 8 or 9. Is it 8?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 8, 8, and then 8 coming all the way to.
Okay, fine. So some quantity have been taken from the top. There will be only one over there. So this line is gone. And when you open all the containers, you see the same trend. So it means that it was cleverly done by the criminals behind these whole activities. So we just wanted you to have information about this. They are not yet taking the content, but they are cleverly taking some from the top line, top layer. Yes. So they take and they leave the last one over there. When we open the next container, you see the same thing over there. Yes. Yes. So
they were saying that they generally remove the top.
The top, yes.
Left one at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think that they will do that? Because if they are taking all and leaving one, what is the impression that they creating?
So if you are not somebody who know how the container are loaded, you will be tempted to believe that all came original like this. Okay. But if they take, let's say, one from this one, take 2 over there, when you open, you know that there's something wrong. Yeah, so that's the modus.
All right.
Thank you.
So from this, it means some of the pillars are missing from here.
Some are missing. So let's open the next one. They will see. All the gentlemen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
So this is supposed to also be all the way to this place. 8. So they've taken some. 11. So the same thing.
We munyina na ho komo na media o me page ni story 3 months ago. Omo ankasa workers e wo hodi omo life to at risk. Eba ma me yo omo interview e wo me page so. Ane nkofo side ntina me omo atoso eye interview na omo adwaman fo say ni kwa say e be yi na di. E koye nya ha ya na asaba besi. Da bia me kasa asem ne kire ma omo ntie. So munim se me tie se me hu na ehie o se di o. Eto asem no kora me de ma no ye me ma beka o. Me ba beka me ka wie na bo ntie aye mo masem. E kwa ahia ni ba be se di asem no. Yesi ye nyina afi de mo makọ ha mo kwa fifa 3 months na mo kọ ho a kan si ano kwan ama kebusi kenam kroma eye adwuma man fam serious anyway yankwai sesi ye aye kasa de eye opanyini a ye frɛ no eye energy minister o say o ye assurance e de ama Ghana for say obi bia o ka dwumadie hu bia no o me make sure so o so ne panchi.
ECG's planned procurement was 1.397 billion. By the end of the year, they procured 8.2 billion. And so they engaged in frivolous over expenditure, procured items that they did not have money to clear, and that is what has brought us this far. The same with 2023. Their planned procurement was less than 1 billion. They ended up procuring 8.3 billion. That is more than 7.3 billion over and above what was approved for them. So if you look at the records, in 2022, they procured 1.3 billion. In 2023, they procured 8.3 billion. In 2024, they procured 8.2 billion. Way above what was approved for them. More than 700%. And so let me make it clear. Those who think that they can engage in political football, those who think they can use this to try and equalize, it will not work. Since 2019, this crime is being perpetrated on the state. The then government slept on it. This government will not allow this to continue. And as minister, I would ensure that we curtail this, we follow and apprehend those responsible, and retrieve the containers. In simple terms, I want my containers. Simple as that. And wherever the containers are, we'll trace them. And those we've apprehended, we'll not just prosecute them, we'll go to court and seek an order to sell those assets there to defray the cost so that we use that money to invest in the grid system and to make power delivery available and reliable. Thank you very much.
Jinapor any eye Afenyo akopiem ewo eye parliament. ese wani eni kwa se meka kire muntie me pa cho baso a share ma me ne like page no ne nkwa akiri na nsempa ne ye ka wa hawo enye ntro ene edi konkonsa ne edi anase ye kontokwa didi atem dabi de ye no ne ye ka ho asem page we so too bad obetimi dia support ene se obe like na wa share eye case close yanko parliament Afenyo ene Jinapor ede na asi.
And today somebody should get away with 700 million, or a group of people should get away with that because we want to accuse each other. No, hell no. We cannot allow that. So I want the majority leader and the members on this side to understand that the maker of the statement is coming with clear conscience. All we want to find out is what are the facts of the case. What happened? How many containers were involved? Who are the people involved? Containers do not have legs. They do not have wings to fly. Nobody can carry a 40-footer container. How is it possible that all the security people there, it doesn't matter what time, and then these containers will move? First day 10 containers, the next day 20 containers, the next day 50 containers, to over 1,000-something containers. How? How is it possible? How is that possible? How is that possible? So I say that we must find out exactly. It tells us something. Maybe something is happening at the port. Maybe something bigger is happening at the port. If containers can get missing, then you can imagine other things that are there. Explosives, drugs, different things. So, and the worst of all, arms. So I'm saying, and I'm supporting the maker of the statement to say that let's investigate in details. There is no report that we want in secret. Mr. Minister, we don't want any report that was conducted in secret. We want a public report. We don't know the people who did it. We don't know when they started it. We don't know when it was commissioned. We don't know who commissioned it and how this report. We want a public report. This is one of the biggest scandals. It's worse than the cocaine scandal. Let's get a public report and carry the people of Ghana along. Let's look at these are the facts. So those who are on social media and trying to play the political game, let me assure you, it will not deter me. Mr. Speaker, I just came from Kong. We've gone to 4 warehouses. 2 of them are factories. And what they've been doing over the years is that they buy these containers with brand new aluminum cables and then melt them into aluminum rods and export them. Today, I encourage everybody to watch the television sets. You will see the cables, brand new cables, being put into the furnace, being melted and converted to rods. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, when President Mahama called me, his message was simple. Jinapor, you have my full backing, go the full throttle. And that is exactly what we are doing. We've already arrested some Chinese nationals. We are on the trail of some Indian nationals who have bolted. But you know, this is a house of record. And so I'm being very, very cautious. I've received a lot of briefing. And I'm getting to know those who are behind it. This has been going on for years. I will stop that, and it will stop right now. But Mr. Speaker, it's not just going to stop. We shall retrieve the containers of the materials. We shall prosecute the perpetrators, and we will prosecute the perpetrators, and we will sell the rods to recover the cost. Mr. Speaker, people are complaining that at the distribution level, the power system is not stable. It is because you buy the materials and you don't use them. They end up somewhere other than their intent, source of the problem. And I hold the view that whoever was responsible and the MD approving, Mr. Speaker, it's even worrying. If you look at the procurement, the MD has a threshold of $1 million. A day, they sign 20 contracts, all of them 900. For me, it's very, very important. Mr. Speaker, and with your permission, I'll tender in the committee's report so that everybody can read it. I'll tender it in. Mr. Speaker, if you go to the tables, for instance, in year 2023, their approved planned procurement was 935 million. That's less than 1 billion. By the end of the year, they had procured 8.3 billion. 7.3 billion more than their budget could accommodate. And so you had so many containers arriving at the port. So many containers arriving at the port. They are not able to clear, and that gives way for these things. Mr. Speaker, 2024, their budget was 1.3 billion for procurement. They ended up procuring 8.2 billion.
Yes, leader.
Mr. Speaker, first let me commend the maker of the statement for bringing this matter to the floor. I have heard views expressed on this matter. And I must say that today is another day of sadness for the politics of the country. Because a system has succeeded in setting us up to set ourselves apart. Mr. Speaker, let me give some few facts for the Hansard of this House. I had the privilege of chairing Ghana Water. Every single reform I initiated ended up in the media, caused by the very people who perpetrated it. And in the end, it turned political. So, nothing gets done. ECG, I had the privilege of chairing the board in July. Because I'm a businessman, the first question I ask myself is that how can ECG award a contract? And when the contract is awarded, all the person does is deliver at the port, present bill of lading, and request for payment. I said, with the greatest respect, I don't want to use a word. This is Parliament. I was shattered. I said, how? And ECG would have to pay. So I realized that ECG was paying a lot of bills when they've not even had access to the goods. And when you ask them, I asked the procurement manager, director of procurement, a question. I said, why did he say, oh, chairman, this is the practice since. This is the practice. And they will bring you document. I listened to honorable member for Sekendi, lawyer, you from Sekendi, question meeting. And I am adopting his submissions as though they were mine. The time has come. This politics, somebody says MPP, NDC, it's a system problem that I will any day support this minister to embark on reforms. How come containers at the ports, containers that have arrived, the bureaucracy at our ports, they say the containers are missing. Mr. Speaker, it is true that when these containers come, there is some connivance with some customs officials, and they sell these containers, these cables that ECG needs after the supplier has been paid. They sell the container, and then people will sell back to ECG. Are we pretending we don't know? Instead of us to pay attention and kill the rots, then we come here, then MPP, NDC, so now they say, oh, maybe it's happening on the MPP, it's happening on the NDC. No. An honorable minister, I know what you can do. If we can give you support to do it, you must adopt a posture, a non-partisan posture, and tackle the rots. But if we all want to approach it, MPP, NDC, Mr. Speaker, it will remain. NDC will spend 4 years, 16 years, 20 years, the same thing will be there. They will come into opposition, and the same thing would arise again. Then the perpetrators will be there in the system. Mr. Speaker, today, Ghanaian businesses cannot sleep because there's a new government, whereas foreign businesses are surviving. because their ambassadors will be protecting their businesses. So Ghanaian businesses who did business in MPP time are at risk, whereas foreign companies are surviving because we are quick to say this business is a pro-MPP, so it should die. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to ourselves? Mr. Speaker, I know the minister will come and say, oh, ECG has a huge bill. There is debt. Now who calls them? Us, as a political class. When there are issues, we don't identify the issue and say, this one is a national issue. Let's kill it. We want to play partisan football with it. It comes back to haunt us. How many people pay bills in Ghana? ECG. All the power that we produce. Mr. Speaker, let me hazard a guess. I can say, not on authority, that less than 20% of consumers pay. A lot of factories consume electricity, they don't pay. The prepaid is adjusted all over. At the end of the day, it becomes the debt of the state. These are things that if the minister comes and says, look, I am embarking on serious reforms, I will go all out to back him. Because if the nation fails, it affects all of us. And for MPP, NDC, we shouldn't be too comfortable with this democracy. With this day's social media, the youths, they are so impatient that if we continue to play this game, they will be watching. We may be surprised. Let's be careful. Let us be careful as a political class. The issue at stake is scandalous, is serious, it's not MPP, NDC matter. All these public institutions, and sometimes some of the appointees of the previous government, you see them even saying that they are professionals. They were not MPP. Now they come here and then they are dining with you. You're also happy. When you lose power, they turn around and they do this and that and that. And then they are hitting our heads and we are here shouting. No. The public system, the public service structure, those SOEs, that government invests so much, every now and then, we have bureaucracies being established by law, and the state will give money. Look at the initiative, this Gold Bond initiative. For all you know, government means well. But trust me, if in the enactment, we don't put in place the support systems, people will take the money and say, but I helped the NDC to come to power. He will even go and buy the gold, and you cannot even prosecute. I invested in Winneba. I bought taxes for my people. The person is working. He's not paying. You can't prosecute. You can't even then have to pay. What is going on in the country? Because politics. We know. We set up initiatives. Where we are helping our people. We give them the loans. Kufuor's Maslock. People didn't pay. Rawlins's intervention program, poverty alleviation, they didn't pay. When Rawlins lost, Atamus lost, and Kufuor came, all the attempt to prosecute those people who didn't pay the loan, they said because they were NDC. When Kufuor also came and they took the loan and they didn't pay, and Atamus was prosecuting, they said, I'm MPP. And it's been going on, and we see saying national debts. All these social interventions that are going down the drain, it's become consumption, not investment. So as a political class, let's wake up. Let's get more serious. Tackle the issues. $700 million is not cheap money. Go to ECG. Those companies are chasing ECG, and now because the minister is enforcing the cash waterfall, they say they get only 40 million cedis, and the 40 million cedis is not even enough to pay salary. Those officers at ECG, those directors, they are the ones who should hold them to account and stop this political football we play. And then we come and we say it was MPP time. Honorable member who brought the statement up, with the greatest respect to you, I do not think an answer will be in a parliamentary inquiry. With the greatest respect to you. And Honorable Minister, I do not think an answer to the problem is a political inquiry. Hold the bull by the horn. And I, Kwamena, will support you because I've been there. In fact, I've seen a lot of the rot in our public service system. I've seen a lot of the rot in the SOEs, but they take advantage of us as politicians. They mess up and they know that, oh, the politicians will make noise. Then they are still chopping and milking the states. You and I know. The managing director of ECG, the director of procurement, must be seen to be telling us why, as a director of procurement, he will issue a contract and then the contract is that deliver at the port, bring bill of lading and ask for payment without even having access to it, and then a minister is to take a blame. A minister must not take a blame on this matter. It shouldn't be a political partisan matter, but it's a system failure which we have the capacity, the authority to deal with. I shall rest my case, Mr. Speaker. If we are serious, this is the day. And Minister, I crave your indulgence to do what is right for legacy purpose, for your image, and I'm sure you will live up to that day.
Thank you very much. Yes, majority leader.
Confirm me subscribe to channel we, but omu ni notifications me ba live for anase me post video tuma omu hunu me video nhwe. Eti enwan se obekọ YouTube no so wabo me din Ekuonaba TV no ebe yaba. Eyi ba no wabo me video ba akoso. Obo me video ba akoso a se won subscribe ya no wa subscribe button no so. Se won subscribe so no wa mia adoma no so to all notification. We ne saa na se me the video tumu a ubonsa won sabe kana won so wanya bi ahwe. Se de be ya me ba obehu me nti no mia adoma no so. Na Facebook kai so be like me page no se de be ya me video bi a me post bi ansa betimi aka bi betimi akọ settings e wo phone no so na wa mia settings no akọ notification na afi akọ mia YouTube no wo dia to notification button to wa mia to ho se de be ya me ba live wa benya me nti na me kire saa no ma we nyina me serew se wonya ne saa ye ne saa se won subscribe to me channel so subscribe to channel se de be me video tuma unsa betimi aka bi me da se.
How to use the laser home kit. First, apply the gel directly to the tooth surface as demonstrated on the video. Second, connect the light to your phone using the USB provided. Leave the light shining on your teeth for 16 minutes. Fourth, rinse your mouth and the mouthpiece with water, cold water. And lastly, smile. Using the toothpaste separately. Brush twice daily with the toothpaste. Bear in mind, this product is not suitable for pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and children under 18 years old. Enjoy!
I am cheerful. So we'll pay a sifita structure of what yet. And the enough for Hokodom unique laser whiten. Any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains beer, unique laser whitening product. Ebe yini nyina free summer kama. The oyani so be fraying. Ewa 079-9979-2330. Unique laser whitening. Or say Muni Seso.
Unique. Pennyfor se bibi o wiase ntine da ni atopnum na ne pabone fonti e wo se wo bambo hu hia na ne papa mu de Pro Technologies ana me kan fama wo ane Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yeton esa install CCTV cameras in the South Ghana and NASA brochure na ufi Ghana. Now peso CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and in South. We get CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and intercom, and satellite TV, home theater. So upe biato, and wato, and a pesa be install them out. Pro Technologies and our software. Na shenen so. See fidie nyina fra America brochime ndi sane papam na opade a manwene ho na ne bo nso da fom meche ye no the web brochime mu ha ene e branch e wo Ghana ye ni mo bra wo bre nti sika fa ye nsem tiemfa nya japade ma wo Ghana wo da na near tenese yes general construction so we brochire na peso si fi Ghana e dan plan bi o peso si so wa sha se dada ana afi na peso si plan bia ye besia ma eno achi so ye solar power ana bamba ho nsensem bi ade woni ye ni nsawoso ne esanso ye smart home abefo fidie bi apese hye e wo fie ana watwuma mo de ma wo woni ye ni nsawoso we are just a call away ne esanso wadan de ma han ana ofre brochire bedu Ghana na wo pe full house room ana apartment ahan for short term and a long term ye be ma obiane border form na bamba ho nsem de manwene ho enna ye interior decoration so wasi fie na wie ana ye su fie na ma no ye sign decoration ye be siesie fie ana office o e de ama eno agi so tom fidie bi na wo ho kwan fa so install ana ne settings ye be ye e de ama e wo Ghana wo be hu yen wo mira fra denta e de wani a che dodoa wo be hu ye e wo ahye ye ne Emerlin Pharmacy e na wo the same building. For information or WhatsApp 401-7570-300 and a plus 401-6992-254. Pro Technologies. We have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.